Hello, everyone. A lot of you must be knowing that the IIMs have released once again a mock paper for CAT 2024, and it is available on iimcat.ac.in. For those of you who do not know how to access this mock, let me tell you that this is present on their homepage itself. If you just go to iimcat.ac.in and if you scroll down, then all the way down, you'll find here Quick Tour. Under Quick Tour, if you click on this link which says CAT 2024 mock test link, then it will give you access to one free mock test that the CAT paper setters themselves provide. Now, this happens every year. Okay? And there are a lot of questions, a lot of speculations that we have been getting about this mock test or after students have taken this mock test, about the pattern of the paper, about the kind of questions, the nature of questions that are going to be present in CAT 2024 paper itself. So I will talk about all of those concerns, but even before that, let me tell you that I wanted to focus on this sentence which says that the objective of this mock test is not to disclose the pattern for CAT 2024 and the number, type, and pattern of questions, as well as sequence and timing of sections in the mock exam are only indicative that these are subject to variations from year to year as decided by CAT authorities. So I wanted to read this line very carefully. It says that the objective of this mock is not to disclose the exam pattern for CAT 2024. Keep this in mind. Okay. Our entire discussion is going to be revolving around this. Now, if you understand this, and then if you have had a look at the paper, you would realize that the pattern of this paper is a bit different from what people had experienced in 2023. The major points of difference being is that in the VRC section, there are no fill-in-the-blanks questions. There are only para-jumbles, odd sentence para-jumbles, summary, and reading combination questions. And second very major difference is that the number of questions in the LRDI section is 22 instead of 20. And instead of there being 4 sets, there are 5 sets. And last year, in the CAT paper, your 4 sets had 5 questions each. And the paper that they have put up here has got 2 sets of 6 questions, 2 sets of 4 questions, and 1 set of 2 questions. So this is the kind of paper that they're posted. Now, why should you not be reading too much into this is because 99% of this paper that they're posted as a mock test is CAT 2021 paper. In fact, the entirety of the VRC section and the entirety of the quant section is completely the same paper that appeared in CAT 2021. And the LRDI section also, apart from the set which consisted of 2 questions, the remaining sets are all from CAT 21 paper as well. And this is what the IIMs do every year. When they give out a mock test, a free mock test, then one of the previous year papers, they just copy and paste. So it does not mean that the pattern of the paper and the nature of questions are going to remain the same. And I'll give you an example. Almost every year, the CAT paper pattern changes by a bit. For example, from 17 to 18. In 17, we used to have 5-sentence para-jumbles, and in CAT 2018, they made it into 4-sentence para-jumbles. From 19 to 20, of course, from a 3-hour paper, it went down to a 2-hour paper. From 20 to 21, it went down from 76 questions to 66 questions. From 21 to 22, the sets of LRDI became 2 sets of 6 and 2 sets of 4 questions. From that to 4 sets of 5 questions each. And also, what they did in CAT 22 paper is that they removed odd sentence para-jumbles and they introduced fill-in-the-blanks. Then 22 to 23, they kept fill-in-the-blanks and they reintroduced odd sentence para-jumbles into the VRC section of the paper. So every year, some minor change does happen. So even if this is the true pattern of CAT 2024 that will appear in this year's examination, it's not a departure from what we have experienced from CAT in the previous years. In fact, I believe that one of the difficulties that the CAT paper setters also want to put into the examination is that they want to test that when a slightly different paper pattern is put in, then those students react to it or not. And the best way to take these examinations is not to react to it. That who doesn't react to the changes, but still continues to approach the paper very logically, applying sense, applying their brains and getting to the correct answers. That is what is actually rewarded in all of these examinations. Now, I also get a lot of questions based on this, that does this not put the slot 1 students in a distinct sense of disadvantage, because they are the ones who are going to be exposed to the paper in the very beginning, and they will have no idea about the change in the pattern of the paper. And the later slots will find out from the slot 1 test takers that the paper pattern has changed, and they can then manage their time and manage their approach to the paper better. Let me tell you that there is no evidence of this happening, that it has not happened ever, that because of the change in the pattern of the paper, that slot 1 has suffered significantly. Apart from, I would say that maybe in CAT 2020, when it was a significant decrease from 3 hours to 2 hours, that's a major overhaul. But apart from that, never do I think that the slot 1 paper has been significantly more tougher because of the paper pattern changing. And I know this because majority of the times that I have taken the paper over the course of the last 7 years, I've taken slot one paper. And sometimes slot one papers have been difficult, sometimes slot one papers have been easy. And based on the difficulty, objective difficulty level of the questions in the slot is what is going to determine the cutoffs. So don't worry about the paper pattern. If you're prepared for the mock tests, then whatever approach you're using in the mock test, apply the same in your actual examination as well, irrespective of what the paper pattern is. Now, let me talk about specifically the LRDI section. In the LRDI section, only something that they have done is a departure from what they have done so far in the previous years, in the sense that on top of CAT 2021 questions, they have put a new set of 2 questions. And that has never happened before. So is this indicative of the fact that there will be 22 questions in LRDI this year? Maybe. I cannot say with certainty. I don't think anyone can. It is very possible that they had put those 2 questions in just because they wanted to put in that particular set because they like the nature of the questions. So you don't know the reasons as to why they have put in those 2 questions. If at all they decided that this year they are going to have two more questions in the DLR section, the only reason I can think of for which they would increase the number of questions in the LRDI section is maybe because they feel that when the remaining 2 sections of 24 and 22 questions in LRDI 20 questions becomes less significant in terms of contributing to the overall scores. Maybe they believe that there are some people who might be really good at LRDI and they need to be given an opportunity to maximize the score using that particular section. So maybe that's why they want to bring it at least an equal footing to that of the quant section in terms of weightage. Apart from that, I don't think that it is going to, or there's any other reason why they would increase the number of questions in LRDI, and it's not going to affect the way that you're going to be taking the examination. If at all this year, you have got 5 sets, 6, 6, 4, 4, and 2 questions. Then remember that when you go into the examination, you are going to be solving only those questions that you're comfortable with. Do not select a set, do not shortlist a set just because it has more number of questions or less number of questions. Only pick up sets and questions that you are confident about solving and get them correct. That is all with respect to the approach that you need to remember. And as far as this mock test being indicative of the change in pattern of the paper is concerned, let me tell you that that's absolutely not true. It is not at all indicative. They have, of course, clarified that in that PDF itself, but let me give you a very simple example of when it has been absolutely a zero indicator of what kind of paper it is that is going to be appearing in that year. It's before CAT 2020. IIM Indore on the portal, on the website, put up CAT 2019's paper as the mock test paper, after announcing that the paper is going to be 2-hour long paper. So they put a 3-hour long CAT paper which had 100 questions as a 2-hour long paper, and people panicked in the month of November that, oh my God, I have to solve 100 questions in 2 hours. How am I going to do this? And that kind of panic was absolutely futile, was absolutely unnecessary, because at the end of the day, the paper had only 76 questions, 24 questions less than what the mock test had. So don't read into the mock test too much. You don't even have to take the mock test. Maybe you can have a look at it to get a very clear sense of understanding as to how the UI will look like on the day of the CAT examination. In fact, even that I won't recommend doing, because the UI that they provided in that mock test link is pretty buggy. You will not get that bugged out a link as well. So don't put too much amount of significance on this paper. If you have not solved CAT 2021 questions yet, I would recommend that you can take it as a mock, or you can practice the questions, because practicing previous year's questions across all 3 sections is pretty important. So you can go ahead and do that. But apart from that, refrain from speculating about what the pattern of the paper is going to be in CAT 2024. You're prepared. If you're a serious aspirant, you're already prepared with, say, 10 days to go or 7 days to go whenever you're watching this video. You're absolutely prepared, and you will do very well in this examination, and you will be able to justify your potential if you just go into the paper as a blank slate without expecting any change in pattern at all. All right. Thank you.